All right, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I did $0 on day 1 right here, all the way to day 10, where I did 67K in sales. And you can tell that I scaled pretty heavily because literally the day before, I had 50% less in sales or 49% less in sales. You can even see the line chart of the day before. I was actually doing 50% less in sales. So you know I raised budgets a lot. And that's how I went from $0 in day 1 all the way to day 10, 67K. I was literally doubling budgets. I was not going easy on that ad budget. And this process right here is not something out of the ordinary. It's actually replicatable because you see right here, a lot of my students are doing the same exact thing. 20K in a single day, 140. You see this line right here? They're literally scaling pretty hard. We have another student right here that did 14K in a single day. After our first call, look, it literally shot all the way up to 14K a day. I have another student right here, 40K in a single day. Another student that did 20K in a single day. And if you are interested in becoming my student and I work with you one-on-one, just go to the first link down below. But as you already know, this system is replicatable. It's not just a one-time thing that only happens for one person. It's happened for multiple people before. And it's not a super complicated system either. I'm going to actually show you guys today exactly how you can go ahead and replicate this for yourself. And you can go ahead and just copy me and basically just copy what my students have been doing to scale to the first 20K, 30K, 40K a day. But anyways, basically what we have is our funnel, right? So for example, we have our funnel. And this is a pretty easy concept to understand. But even though it is an easy concept to understand, a lot of people don't actually know what to do with the funnel. But the basic example of the funnel is basically product is number 1, right? And then you go into your creative. And then you go into your website. And then the last thing we have is our offer. Now, this is the basic understanding of our funnel, right? The reason why this is the basic understanding is because, number 1, without a good product, your creative, it doesn't really matter. Without a good creative, your website doesn't really matter. And without a good website, your offer doesn't really matter. And you might ask me, why doesn't it matter? Because if you don't have a good product, it doesn't matter how good your creative is. My favorite example is imagine trying to go ahead and make a really good creative for a fidget spinner. I don't care how much of a good creative person you are, it's going to be really hard to sell a fidget spinner in today's world. It's going to be product plus timing, I guess, right here. Timing is a really important part as well. And without a good creative, no one's going to go ahead and click onto your website anyways. If someone's not interested on the product or the creative, they're not going to look at your website. So it doesn't matter how beautiful your website is. It doesn't matter if it's made by the CEO of the best CRO company ever. If no one sees it, then no one sees it, right? So that's why this is the funnel right here. And for the offer, if your website doesn't look good enough or it's not like valuable enough for the customer to think that you're a legit brand, they're not going to trust your offer anyways. You can be like, 180 days back guarantee. You can say, buy one, get 16 free. It doesn't matter because your website looks like a scam, so your offer wouldn't matter either. So you have to go ahead and make sure your product and timing is good, your creative is good, your website is good in order for something like your offer to be good. Because I know a lot of people talk about offer, but if these things are not good, you're not even going to have a chance to show your customer your offer anyways. And that's pretty much what I'm explaining all today in this video, how to go from 0 to 67K in a single day by basically maximizing all of these funnels right here. And I promise you, if you watch this entire video to the end, you're going to know exactly what these students know in order to go ahead and scale their stores to a 14K a day, 30K a day, and 20K a day. All right, so first things first, let's talk about product. We'll talk about timing in a bit, but product itself, basically product research, right? And basically how I do product research is I basically go to Facebook ads library. Now, a lot of other people recommend Calodata, TikTok. I'm not saying those don't work, but in my opinion, this works the best because people that move products over from Calodata, right, into Facebook, we're going to find them anyways, right? So they're going to take that initial risk this is the initial risk right here, by taking the product from Calodata and moving on to Facebook. And once they start scaling on Facebook, that's when we go ahead and test that product. But you won't know how many times these people actually tested products from Calodata or Facebook. It could have been like 10 times before that, and it would have never scaled or basically maybe just like didn't do that well. And you would have tested those products yourself from Calodata. For me, I like to go ahead and wait for them to scale on Facebook first, and then I scale with them. I'm not saying that Calodata doesn't work. This is actually proof that Calodata does work because I'm copying the people that scale from Calodata. It doesn't really have to be Calodata. It could be products from like TikTok. It could be products from like Pinterest. I've seen products come from everywhere, and they move it over to Facebook, but I'm that guy that waits on Facebook and waits for something to scale on Facebook first before taking that initial risk of taking that product from Calodata or other platforms and moving it over to Facebook. So, for example, how I find them on Facebook Ads Library is I do something called the rabbit hole method. And the reason why this is called the rabbit hole method is because this method right here, you basically jump from different keywords to different niches. So, for example, this is the example I always use, but let's just say you go to Shop Now, and it's the keyword that you search up, right? A lot of people actually just go ahead and keep scrolling down to Shop Now and keep scrolling for hours. Maybe it's not Shop Now, maybe it's like 50% off, usual key terms that people use. Or here's another one. People go ahead and search up like a specific keyword. So for example, maybe like bed, or maybe it's like sleep, or maybe it's like baby. You know, these things. People search up these keywords and they scroll for hours and hours down this like path right here. And the unfortunate part is not everybody's using these keywords right here. For example, if I'm selling a baby product, I might not even say the word baby. Maybe I'm going to say the word your little one. So you can see right here, I say little one and it still means baby, but you would have never found my product if you kept searching baby and kept scrolling and scrolling. So for me, I just go ahead and take one keyword. For example, shop now. I find another keyword right here. Let's just say it's bed. And then maybe the bed is talking about bugs, and all of a sudden we're now on insects, like bed bugs, and now we're talking about insects, right? And then all of a sudden the insects is talking about camping gear, because, you know, camping outside. Now we're in camping, right? Now we're in a camping niche. If you only did shop now, you may have never found the camping niche at all, or found products that use the word camping or keywords related to camping. Now this goes on and on and on. You can literally keep rabbit holing, and it doesn't always look this perfect, obviously. Sometimes you go from bed to insects, but there's no good products here, so you take out insects, it goes to another keyword. This is the rabbit hole method, and this is the method that I go ahead and use to find these winning products. All right, now we're on Facebook Ads Library to show you guys a live example. I searched up Shop Now, and we're currently on Facebook Ads Library. And a lot of people will search up Shop Now and keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down, and keep scrolling down. But for us, we're going to find an ad up here and basically choose a keyword that will bring us into another niche. So for example, these sandals were replaced, blah, 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 blah. Let's just go ahead and go for arch support right here and go into another Facebook Ads Library link. Then we'll go ahead and paste arch support over here. Now, of course, I think it's going to bring up the original competitor's ads, which of course it does, but it doesn't mean you can't keep scrolling down to see what other products support arch support, right? Basically, I'm scrolling down looking for other products that exist, and Cloud Souls right here looks like a dropshipping store. I'm going to click here, and you can see this product right here. We would have never found this product if we basically went to Shop Now and kept scrolling and kept scrolling and kept scrolling. We only found it by searching up arch support, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to search up different keywords to bring you to other niches, and now we're in the foot niche, and we basically have products that only tailor to people that want to buy products to help them with problems with their feet. Anyways, we can keep scrolling on this one right here, and we have another product right here. And this is actually an AliExpress product. This is that pillow. Maybe it's like a different custom version, but we do have this pillow on AliExpress as well. And would have never found this product or this website, like I said, we kept going to Facebook Ads Library and go to Shop Now and kept scrolling and kept scrolling and kept scrolling. We would have never found this specific product. Now, we're going to do it the rabbit hole method again. So for example, click into here, and now we're in the foot niche, but we're going to go ahead and move over to like the sleep niche, right? So we're going to move over to like the sleep niche, right? We're going to do sleep issues. This is not the only keyword here. You can choose other keywords like muscles, you can choose memory foam, you can choose other ones as well. But for us, we're going to move to the sleep niche now. Go ahead and copy this, duplicate here, paste sleep issues. And now we're basically in the sleep niche, and I'm going to keep scrolling down until I see a dropshipping product that makes sense. We have a product right here. It seems like it's some natural sleep gummies. This is also a dropshipping product, and it is available on AliExpress. But yeah, we would have never found this product if we kept scrolling on Shop Now. Let's see some other products in this niche as well. We have another product right here. It's called the Harmony Pendant. As you can see right here, it looks really good. Really branded looking website. It basically helps people boost energy levels, eases stress, all this stuff. But like I said, we would have never found this product if we kept going on Shop Now and scrolling down and scrolling down and scrolling down. All right, now that you actually know how to find these products from product research, you actually have to go ahead and validate it to make sure these products are actually winners and is able for you to go ahead and compete. Now, I have a few product validations that I always do for myself. So product validations. Number one, the thing I have for you guys is break-even ROAS should be under 1.6. If it's above 1.6, unfortunately, there's too little margin. It's going to be hard to scale, especially with raising ad costs on Facebook. Number two, it should be recent, right? Within 1 to 4 weeks. Now, a lot of people make this mistake. They want to test products that are not recent. They want to test products that have been out for 2 to 3 months. And their understanding of it is, oh, well, if it works for that person and they've been launching for 2 to 3 months, it should work for me as well. While that is true to some sort, it's not going to help you in your cases because they've been around for so long now. If the audience size is this big, they already had 2 to 3 months to take up most of the audience size here. So it's going to be hard for you to compete. Like, you wouldn't go ahead and compete with McDonald's or these big corporations because they've taken up most of the market size already. But you would compete if you were going ahead and trying to open up like a pickleball court and your neighbor opened up a pickleball court down the street like 2 weeks ago, then you would compete with them because they're recent and they haven't dominated the entire market yet. Number three, we have right here, you want to make sure it's actually scaling. And what I mean by scaling is that there's a couple different ways. You can either use Shop Hunter to go ahead and get a good estimate, or a really good way for someone to be scaling is if they're going ahead and adding ads constantly. And it's really unlikely for someone to go ahead and keep adding ads constantly if they're not profitable, if they're not making money. It's really unlikely for them to go ahead and do that. So if they're adding ads constantly and consistently, right? Like if they start their product on June 1st, right? Are they adding ads June 2nd? Are they adding ads June 3rd? Are they adding ads June 4th? If they're adding ads only June 1st and then the next ad batch is like June 14th, it's very unlikely that they were scaling and let 2 weeks go by without adding new ad creations or ad variations. It's just very unlikely. The next one I have right here is going to be Shopify store, and you want to make sure it's on AliExpress. If it's not on the Shopify store, and if it's not on AliExpress, then unfortunately we can't sell it anyways. And most people that are legit and scaling, they're usually on Shopify. I'm not saying people can't use Wix and people can't use BigCommerce or these other platforms, but majority of the time, people that are scaling are using Shopify to their advantage. All right, now you know how to find a good product and make sure you have good timing on it. The next part is the creative. Without a good creative, you can't move on to the next product, the website and the offer. So once you get the product down, now it's time to go into the creative. Now, creatives are pretty simple, I would say. So right here, creatives. And the basic understanding of a creative is that if this is the huge audience that you're targeting, how much of this audience can your creative convince to buy your product or at least click into your website? So for example, if your creative is not that great, maybe you can only convince this amount of audience to go ahead and buy from your website. And this amount of audience might be like, I don't know, 1K a day, right? Or it could be like 2K a day. But this amount of audience might be 10K a day or 20K a day. So it's going to be really dependent on how good your creative is, because it's basically dependent on how much people can actually convince to buy your product. And one thing I realized is I don't have to be super original when it comes to making creatives, and I don't have to be super creative either. And the funny thing is, it's called creative, and you don't have to be creative to do it. But what I like to do is I basically go ahead and find out what's the actual customer avatar of the product that I'm selling to. And I'll give you an example right now. So for example, if you're selling to moms, it's going to be very unlikely that you can have a dad or you have a teenager or someone that doesn't look like a mom advertise to moms. Now, the reason why is because people look for relatability. So for example, you might see a cool product and you might think it's cool, but then you won't buy it. But until your friend recommends it or your friends have it, then you're like, oh, it might be a good product for me too. It's because you're relating to the customer avatar of the product. There's been a couple of times that's happened to me. I didn't want these AirPod Maxes, and then all of these people that are in tech and dropshipping started getting these AirPod Maxes, and I'm like, hey, I kind of want one too. It's basically a little bit of FOMO as well. But if the ads show like someone that's like in baseball or someone that does sports and wearing these AirPod Maxes, they wouldn't really relate to me. But I started seeing a lot of the entrepreneurs, I started seeing a lot of younger people wear it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need some AirPod Maxes as well. That's just an example, right? So you want to find your customer avatar. So whoever you're selling to, you have to make sure that the person on the camera or the person that's going to be in the UGC ad is going to be primarily the avatar of the customer. So for example, if you have moms, you also need to go ahead and make sure they talk in their mom lingo, right? There's a lot of different ways that people talk, and you want to make sure they're talking in a sense that makes sense to moms. There's different terms that moms use. There's a bunch of different languages that different moms use, different things that you wouldn't know because you're not a mom. You have to make sure you match this so other moms watching it are related to it and could be relatable. They're like, oh, another mom is recommending this product, then I definitely have to get it. But if a dad recommended it, a teenager recommended it, it's going to be hard for a mom to relate to that product and go ahead and buy it. And the second part is you have to actually improve on the creative of the original competitor. So when I say improve, I don't mean like add captions. I don't mean make it 4K. I don't mean go ahead and add any special effects. Like when people go ahead and think improve on a creative, they think they want to go ahead and actually improve on the quality of the video. No, you want to improve on the quality of the content, right? The content means different things. It could be the avatar of the UGC creative, what I just mentioned. It could be, number two, the script of it, which I mean you want to go ahead and talk in their mom lingo if you're talking to moms, or you want to go ahead and improve on the actual content of the creative. So how the product is being shown. Is it being shown in like a professional background? Is it being shown with a person holding it? The actual concept of things. So you want to improve on all three of these. The avatar I already told you is pretty easy. You could use AI UGC to go ahead and match your avatar better. The script, I also use AI as well. So what I do is I go ahead and take a script from a really creative ad already, a really good ad in my industry. So for example, if you're in beauty, you want to go ahead and find some ads from some really big brands or some really good brands in the e-com space. Take their script and basically just tell ChatGPT to rewrite it for your product. And then the content, I basically just go ahead and try to find really good content online of my product already and not some shitty ones that maybe a competitor is using. So make sure you improve on all of these. And that's pretty much how you want to dial down your creative. You don't have to be original. You don't have to make your own custom content. And the thing is, a lot of people, they think when they had to improve the creative, they're going to go ahead and make custom content, right? They're like, okay, I'm going to make custom content. And they assume that just because it's custom, it's going to go ahead and do better. It does not make sense. Like, for example, if there's a bagel store around the corner and they have the usual, everything bagel with cream cheese, right? That's an original concept. And it's also a concept that's working really well for them. You making a custom formula and doing like, I don't know, hot Cheetos bagel, I don't know, like with yogurt cream cheese, it's not gonna help in any way. I get that it's custom, great for you, but it's not gonna help, right? Your competitor's already scaling. You want to take what's working for them already and improve on it, not change the entire recipe. A lot of people do that. A lot of people take what's winning for the competitor already, they see the product, and they make custom creatives with a different avatar, with a different script, with a different selling point, and they're like, hey, why isn't my product scaling with them? And now you know why. All right, now that you have the product down, the timing down, the creative down, now it's time for the website. Now, I'm not even lying. For this product, I launched the website in like 15 minutes, actually maybe even 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you guys live how I did that. So, for example, I'm going to go to this website called Launch Your Store. There should be a link down below as well. But all you need to do is go ahead and connect your store to this and go ahead and copy any website and basically make it into your own. So, for example, click Create Store right here. I already have a Shopify store, so I'm going to add my store URL right here. Copy this, paste it here, connect our app. Once you're done installing the app, click Next right here, click Configure Permission, copy the access token, go ahead and click Next. By the way, if you're having trouble with all of this, make sure you just go through all the instructions right here, but I'm not going to show you guys right in front of you guys today. Click Next. I'm going to choose version 4, choose the color blue right here, click Next. The product name, I'm going to copy this one right here. It's going to be called Cloud Souls, so I'll just copy this, paste it here, Cloud Souls. Go ahead and click Add Product, and it's going to go ahead and fetch all the images of this product for me, and then it's going to go ahead and make this product into our store. All right, got some images. It says recommended product images. I'm going to choose a few of these right here, and then go ahead and click Add Product, and go ahead and make the store. I'll show you guys in 2 minutes. It's going to go ahead and create the entire store for us. All right, it's now done making the store, and this is the store right here. It looks super clean, super simple. It basically made all this an AI in just a few minutes, and this is how I launched my Shopify stores, and this looks amazing, right? You don't have to get any better, but you don't want to get any worse with the Shopify store. This store will be able to go ahead and convert 10K a day, 20K a day, 30K a day, super easily. So if you're interested, I'm making AI stores super easily in like 5 minutes. Just go to the link down below. But that's pretty much it for the store. That's all you really need to do. And you're basically done. Now the next thing we're going to focus on is actually the offer. On top right here, you see $0 right now. But the last thing we want to talk about is the offer. So I'm going to talk about that right now. So I'm going to go all the way over here. So offer. Now that the website looks good, as you can see right here, the website looks pretty good. The customer is going to trust whatever offer we're going to give to them. But there's specific offers for e-com that makes total sense. So for example, the first offer that I have for you guys, and basically the most popular offer is going to be bundle offers, right? I'm sure you guys have seen, but basically if someone buys 1, 2, or 3, they get a discount. If you buy 2, you get 10% off. If you buy 3, you get 15% off. This is called bundle offers. Now this makes sense if you want to go ahead and increase your AOV without actually slashing your margins, okay? If you want to do that without slashing margins, then you go ahead and do a bundle offer. And it only really makes sense if your COGS are super high. So for example, if it costs you like $10 to fulfill and you're selling for like $40, this would make sense for you to go ahead and actually do a bundle offer because it's so expensive for you to fulfill. If someone buys 2, now your COGS is going to be $20 and you want to go ahead and still sell for a decent price. It doesn't have to be 80, but if you give 10% off, it can go ahead and sell for like $70, right? And that way your AOV still increases without making your COGS go super high. Now the next part, like buy one, get one free, BOGO, or buy one, get 50% off. These are also popular offers, but these only make sense if, number one, it makes sense for the customer to go ahead and have more than one, right? So the customer wants to buy more than one. This only makes sense for example, if you have like an air purifier fan, it makes sense to buy like multiple in the house, or maybe it's like a shower head. Obviously, some people have multiple showers too. Those would make sense. But something like shoes or something like sunglasses, it wouldn't really make sense for this offer because even if you offered like 6 shoes, they don't want 6 shoes. They only want 1, right? So it wouldn't really make sense. It would only make sense that the product you're selling can be used more than once or basically around the house, all that good stuff. But it only also makes sense if you have low COGS. And I'll explain that in a bit. But basically, your shipping price doesn't always equate to how much your product weighs, okay? How much pounds your product weighs. So I'll give you an example right now. Let's just say you're shipping 1 pen, okay? 1 pen. Now, this 1 pen might take you $5 to ship. And the reason why is because there's a base price, there's a flat rate to ship something, no matter what. So the flat rate might be $4.50. Doesn't matter what you ship. You can ship a hair, and it'll still cost $4.50. But maybe they'll charge you 50 cents every, I don't know, 0.1 pound that you ship the item, right? And let's just say this pen right here is 0.1 pounds. So basically it adds up to $5. But if you ship 2 pens, your flat rate is still $4.50, but you just add a 50-cent extra to it, another extra 0.1 pound. Now it's actually only $5.50. So yes, you sold 2 pens, but your products on your COGS are no longer $5. It's actually $5.50. Where most people, if they ship 2 pens, it's going to cost $10. So it only really makes sense if you have low COGS. So now the offer looks really good because originally they're going to get 1 pen for like, I don't know, $20, and now they're getting 2 pens for $20 too, but your COGS only increased by 50 cents, whereas the customer now assumes they're getting double the product for the same price, which only really makes sense if you have super low COGS. Like I mentioned, if you're selling a pen, something that's super light, maybe even a t-shirt, but things that are really heavy is not going to fly by this one right here. And the last offer I have, if you want to go ahead and offer a 15 to 30 day trial. Now, I would only recommend this if your product is number one, super high quality, or your product is super expensive, like $80 to like $100. The reason why people don't buy $80 to $100 items is because they're scared that it's not going to work well. They're out $100. But if they buy like a $20 item, it doesn't really work out. I don't think they care too much. So you want to go ahead and only offer this trial if your product is good and it's really expensive. Now, my product was expensive. It was $80 plus. And it was super high quality. I bought one before on Amazon to make sure it was. So I knew I was going to get a bunch of different chargebacks or refund rates because people are going to keep the item anyways. And this makes more people convert. So out of 100 people, maybe even 5 of them would not consider buying it unless you had this trial. And once they do have the trial, they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to buy it. And if the product is good, they're not going to refund it. So this is a really good way to increase your conversion rate and get more sales because a lot of people are on the fence of buying these items. But the requirement, make sure your item is at least $80 to $100 and make sure your product is good quality. All right, we're pretty much done with everything here. The last thing we have in our funnel list is actually advertise and spend money on Facebook ads. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are curious about that, on how to actually advertise this on Facebook and actually get more results, and what's the secret sauce to these Facebook campaigns. I'm telling you right now, there actually is no secret sauce. The secret sauce actually lies within the creative itself, the creative. On my Facebook Ads Manager, I only have 2 campaigns. I have a testing campaign, and I have a scaling campaign. That's pretty much all I have. Now, I might have multiple testing campaigns and multiple scaling campaigns, but these are the basic fundamentals that I have, and basically it all relates to creatives, right? I basically test 10 to 30 creatives in a testing campaign, and whatever creative works, I move over to a scaling campaign, or I make a new scaling campaign if it's a new scaling creative. And these scaling creatives would only happen if you go ahead and improve on the creative, like where I mentioned, right? This is the big audience that you're selling to. If you're only doing, let's just say, 2 to 3K a day, this is the only audience you're able to convince to buy your product. You now have to go ahead and convince even more people to buy your product via your creative. Like I said, it's either improving your avatar, improving your script, improving your content. The person that you're selling to, you have to have that same avatar on the screen. And you also want to go ahead and talk the same as them, right? You're not going to see a mom going like, hey, moms, we're chopped right now. My baby's getting clapped in a 1v1. Like, my mom is not going to say that. So you want to go ahead and relate to the customer and talk the way the customer talks. A good way to do that is actually go ahead and go to 11 Labs and basically clone a mom, a voice of a mom. But also, you can go ahead and do voice to voice. Or actually, they call it just voice changer. What am I saying? It's basically just do a voice changer, right? You can go ahead and now just read a script out, and then they're going to change your voice into a mom voice with 11 Labs, and it seems like the mom is talking, but it's actually not the mom talking. It's actually you talking, but they just change your voice to a mom talking. So there's that. The script, like I mentioned, make sure to go ahead and find a creative that looks really good in your niche. Use AI to make it into your own product, and make sure to use the lingo of the person, the avatar that you're selling to, and read the script out loud for 11 Labs. And the content, make sure the product has really good content around it. Different people using it, maybe an unboxing video, the product being used, all that good stuff. Your entire ad strategy is based off your creatives. You want to make sure your creative is able to convince more and more people to buy your products. There's people that saw your ad, but they're on the fence of buying it. So until that creative hits their feed and convinces them to buy it, then they're not going to go ahead and do it. But that's pretty much it. If you want to go ahead and learn more, make sure to check out my other videos right here. If you want one-on-one coaching to help you scale from 0 to 67K like me, and like all these other students right here, 20K, 14K, 40K, 20K, make sure to hit the first link down below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.